In today's episode, George Stavro and Dr. Rob talk about grass-fed butter, carbs, and fats, whether they're good or bad, and, well, what's wrong with fat anyway, if anything.
You said it, man. Balance. Like if you're eating a meal where your protein is very high, your fat is high, and your carb
Yeah,
is low, on paper it sounds okay, but people are missing the boat. It's not the carbs; it's the refined carbs and
they,
the chemicals that are added in there. Like it's all this grocery store carbohydrates. You go to the artisanal section. Actually, this
yeah,
morning, so I did it. This
yeah,
morning, it's Saturday morning.
yeah,
I woke up. I'm like, man, I feel like having sausages and
yeah,
sourdough and eggs. So I went to the store and I bought some artisanal sourdough bread.
yeah.
Man, it's not real sourdough bread. It's just
No,
some frozen dough that they put in the oven and it pops out seconds later. It's not that long ferment real
that's right.
sourdough. So, and a lot of the breads that you buy in the store have all these different chemicals in there. Fats, yeah, there's healthy fats out there, no question. But just because a fat is healthy doesn't give you carte blanche to eat copious amounts of it. There's
Not at
magnitude.
all.
Omega-3, fine. But if you start popping tablespoons of the best quality Alaskan salmon oil or any of the best quality fish oil in the world, you're asking for heart disease. You don't live in the Arctic. You have a lot of stress. We eat our foods that are overcooked. We have a lot of
Mhm.
inflammation and oxidation. Hell, if you just go for a run, you know how much oxidative, free
Yeah,
radicals you're just pumping into if you're a smoker, if you're a, just chronic stress, metabolic
yeah,
waste, you're creating all these free radicals. That fat is going to become oxidized, and oxidized
exactly.
fat will lead to, yeah, absolutely. So,
Yeah, and
um,
look at the bigger picture.
yeah,
That's certainly a huge part of it. And there's a concept out there, not just counting calories, it's counting chemicals.
yeah, like
So
what
it's
are
like,
you doing to the foods? Like, you can
yeah,
eat grass-fed butter. Grass-fed butter might be much better than regular butter, but that doesn't mean that you could eat a stick of it every single day and
no,
it's going to be good
not
for
at
you.
all.
You're going to die, like unless you
Yeah,
have a genetic lottery kind of thing. But you're
exactly. Well, and then we get to the whole idea of food displacement. So if I'm eating a lot
yeah,
of this one thing, then there isn't really enough room in my stomach for something else unless I'm force feeding myself. So it
yeah,
just, and while on paper it's nice to have, like, the meal is balanced on a per meal basis, it's not always easy. So
yeah,
like, let's say your
no,
best friend's getting married on the weekend, and you're going to go to town with the whole wedding buffet and things like that. Plan for it. So,
yeah.
like,
Oh,
I'll work
so
out a little bit more, and then it's
amazing.
like, maybe it's just fewer calories leading up to that big meal, and fewer calories several days afterwards. So over the course of a week, my caloric content is pretty balanced, and my meals are balanced, but it's not balanced per meal. It's balanced over so many meals throughout the whole week.
Absolutely. So actually, it's funny. I just put up two videos, and I think it's on the podcast too. I
Nice.
call it kind of like the best tip video and the best tool video kind of
Yeah.
thing. And it's so simple. It's something I think people might be aware of, but never ever use. So you're talking about magnitude, moderation.
Yeah.
People think that they're doing something in moderation, whether it be alcohol or French fries or
Mm.
whatever it is. But one of the best tips I've ever heard, ever nutritionally, is
Okay.
diet diary. We all use them, like
Nice.
naturopathic doctors, nutritionists. They
Beautiful.
use
Yeah.
diet diary. So you'll go to your naturopath or dietitian or your nutritionist or whoever, and actually they'll spend the first visit often telling you to go home and write this diet diary. So if you have a
As they
diet
should.
diary out, as they should, right? But you could save a lot of money and time if you just come to your first appointment with your diet diary already
Exactly.
built in. And what it is essentially, well, you know what it is, but
Yeah.
it's basically like a calendar for the week, a week or two. And
Yeah.
you write down exactly what you're eating, when you're eating, and then amounts. So
Yeah.
milliliters, if it's drinks, or grams, or cup of this, cup of that.
That's
The
right.
number one tool was teaspoons, tablespoons. You want to be measuring with cups, teaspoons,
Yeah.
tablespoons.
And
And
look for
then
patterns.
absolutely, you look for patterns, and then you could see objectively how much of certain foods you are eating. I mean, how much fat are you actually consuming? And
Exactly.
do you think that's really moderate or not? And if you don't, you should lower it. If you're not sure, maybe you should consult with somebody.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a huge thing, and it doesn't have to be like, too lengthy a food diary by any means.
No, no, no.
I
A
think like,
week,
a week or
maybe.
two. Yeah, if it's only a couple days, I don't think a couple days really
No.
gives enough justice to it, because I eat differently on the weekends than I do during the week, just because I don't work on the weekends at my regular gig.
Right.
So
Yes.
it's just a matter of recognizing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, man.